Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Gonna be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of our game against Burnley at Turf Moor tomorrow night. So, Solskjaer was asked quite a few questions. This was the first question that was asked, and it's Sean Dyche has said today that it's like nobody has wanted to take a grip of the Premier League in recent weeks. Is that right? And have Burnley looked more like themselves in recent weeks? So Solskjaer's response to that question was they've had some good results. Burnley, after a difficult start, it's hard to score against them. They don't concede many chances. They're always difficult to play against. When you go there, you know what you're up against. I think all the teams want to take a grip on the Premier League, of course, but it's that kind of season, that kind of year and situation where there will be more ups and downs and less consistency in results and performances. For me, it's exciting as a supporter or a fan. It's more interesting when there are more teams in and around each other compared to last season when one just ran away. So that was Solskjaer's response to that question. This was another question. Can you give us an update on the injuries of Eric Bailly, Paul Pogba, Lindelof and Luke Shaw? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's response to that was, yeah, all of them have trained today. Paul and Eric didn't do all of it, but Luke and Victor did all of it. I've got a decent amount of players to pick from. Let's see with Paul and Eric and how they are tomorrow. I updated you about that this morning, didn't I? Solskjaer initially said that Eric Bailly, Paul Pogba, Luke Shaw and Lindelof are all doubts for this game against Burnley. But he said they should definitely be available for the game on Sunday against Liverpool. Obviously, Bailly sustained a neck injury in our 1-0 win against Watford. And Solskjaer said, he will require furthermore assessment on his suspected neck injury. That's my own element of concern about Eric Bailly. You know, he is too injury prone. You know, Luke Shaw's injury prone as well, so that's my element of concerns about him. And Paul Pogba's obviously sustained quite a few injuries. But anyway, this was another question. You will obviously have Edison Cavani back for tomorrow. He must be champing at the bit, and is it a great extra boost that you can call upon him at this time? Solskjaer's response to that was, Edison has trained well since he's been banned. He's had a couple of days off as well. You can't train too much. He's ready to go. He's a different option. He's a different type of striker than Mason Greenwood, Martial and Marcus Rashford. I'm glad to have him back, and that's why we brought him in. He's contributed well so far. I'm sure he'll be really important for us between now and the end of the season. The end of the season starts tomorrow night. So basically Solskjaer saying that Edison Cavani is ready to go. He's obviously now served his 3-match ban. He obviously got a 3-match ban for the racist comment that he put on social media last month. Edison Cavani has enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. We got him on a free transfer on deadline day last summer. He signed a 1-year contract with Man United with an option of a second year. And I said when we got Cavani, will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Solskjaer was talking about Cavani earlier on this season, saying like he's definitely a starter. He said we're already looking to extend his contract, and Solsjaer revealed the first thing that Edison Cavani asked him when he came to the club, and that's whether he can wear the number 7 shirt. This was another question, and it says, you said the other day that no one is going to remember who was top on 12th of January, but in terms of your progress, it would be an important step, I imagine. So Ollie's response to that was, well, we are better off this season compared to the same time last year. We've won more games, we've scored more goals, we've played better football. That's a positive, but as I said, no one remembers the January league table. For us, it's just about developing the team and improving. I think we've showed again that we can bounce back after a disappointment. I thought the lads who played in the FA Cup game showed good character and good attitude and quality. That was Solskjaer's response to that. This was another question that was asked to him. It's been a long time since Man United have even challenged at the top of the league. Can you quantify that as someone who spent all his career at the club challenging for major trophies and winning major honours? So Solskjaer's response to that was, since Sir Alex Ferguson left, we've been second, third, fourth, fifth and twice sixth, won seventh. It's important for us to establish ourselves up amongst the top four. We've only been in the top three times since Ferguson left. If we can do that again and improve on third, that's progress. When I played, it was completely different, of course. We were really disappointed if we didn't win the league when we played. We were third once, but most of the time we challenged against one team. The league is different now. There are so many top teams that can challenge and can look at themselves as candidates to challenge the top teams. This was another question. Do you think they are comparisons from back then because you achieved so much and Sir Alex Ferguson achieved so much, so that everyone who follows gets compared to that? Whereas it's not as easy to get close to those achievements. So Ollie's response to that was, like I said, there weren't that many teams who were able to challenge for the top 2 or 3 positions. So in a good year you win, in a bad year you come second or third. Of course, now there are so many other teams with big squads, strong squads who can challenge. You all talk about the top 6, but then you have other teams who get up there now. That's due to good work at different clubs and good signings. It makes it a more exciting league than the last 2 or 3 seasons when 2 teams ran away. There's quite a few questions on here, to be fair. This was another one, by the way. This was asked to Ollie. You know, Sir Alex used to say every year in January that this was the month to apply the pressure and put the foot on the pedal. From your point of view, is January about putting that pressure on and being in and amongst it by the end of the month? Ollie's response to that was, I said the league table doesn't really matter now, but you pick up points, and when you get to March and April, that's where the league is more or less decided. We knew this season was going to be difficult for us. We started later than everyone and had this game to catch up. We didn't have any pre-season, I remember I said, and I wasn't happy with what I said. Actually, we just need to hang in for a little while. That wasn't what I meant. I meant just keep picking up points. It's not about just hanging in there. Get the performances right, get the points on the board, and don't let teams run away with it. And we've done well. Now, this was another question to Solskjaer. I think when Ed Woodward last spoke publicly, He said the emphasis was on summer transfer windows and not January. Is that because it's hard to get what you want? Also, have you got the players at the moment to keep making that progress this season going into the summer transfer window? So Ollie's response was, I think that the signings we made in the summer strengthened the squad really well. Good characters, good signings, good players. January is always difficult, but if something comes up that you think is a long-term target anyway, that's another scenario. But not many teams would be willing to lose their players in January. It's unlikely that something will happen on the inside, but there might be 2 or 3 going out. They deserve to play more football for their own good and for their own careers. So basically, Solsjaer said it's very, very unlikely that there will be incomings in this January transfer window. I said the same thing though before. This was another question that was asked to him. We know that you'll go top of the table with a positive result. Since the start of the season, you've been having to play catch up with the other clubs. Do you think this side is now ready to pick up the mentality of, rather than being the hunter being hunted? Solskjaer's response to that was, we have to be aggressive. We have to go into every game humble, work hard. Don't even think for a second that you've cracked it if you're near the top. That is not the type of players that we have. We have players who should play on the front foot, be aggressive and on the front. Oh, wait a minute. On front foot, be aggressive and on the front foot, yeah, be hard to play against no matter what. But of course, the group's mentality is improving all the time. Now it's a different challenge. It's Burnley away and we're in this position. It doesn't really matter where we end up in the league after that one, just as long as you focus on this game and this game only. The final question, what was asked to Ollie, was, you talked about the Burnley game before and you've been waiting for it for a while now. Has it made any difference for you at all, being constantly one game behind your opponents? And Solskjaer's response to that was, with the results that we got in the beginning, it made it more difficult for the players. Maybe it made it easy for teams to criticise us, to worry, to maybe look at the table. Of course, a game in hand is only good if you win it. People talk about a game in hand, but you have to win that one to get them points on the board. With a difficult start against Palace and against Tottenham, I think it made it harder for the players mentally, maybe to look at the table. Even if you don't look at the table, people will keep talking away about your position. So that was everything that was mentioned in the press conference. But yeah, Manchester United must win that game tomorrow night against Burnley. If we do win the game, we will be 3 points clear at the top of Liverpool. We were supposed to be playing Burnley on the opening day of the season, but obviously it got postponed. Now, like I've said to you, we have got a good record at Turf Moor. The last time we lost at Turf Moor was back in 2009. It was a goal from Robbie Blake. We won the fixture at Turf Moor last season. We beaten them 2-0. Burnley beating us at Old Trafford though 2-0. And that was their first win at Old Trafford in 58 years. That was last January. Like I say, I'm confident we'll win because we have been very, very good away from home in the Premier League this season. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League this season as yet. Burnley are sitting 16th in the Premier League. Obviously, they found a bit of form recently. They've won 3 of their last 4 games in all competitions, and their current manager is Sean Dyche. And like I've mentioned to you, Burnley have got some good players in their team. Obviously, Chris Wood, he's a very, very good player. He's probably their best player. Burnley got Chris Wood from Leeds. They've also got that Ashley Barnes. That's one of their key players. They've also got Cork, who's one of their key players. They've got that Charlie Taylor, who's one of their key players, but he's been out with injury. They've also got Jay Rodriguez. I think he's one of their best players. He's been out with injury. They've got that Ashley Westwood. They've got that Vidra, one of their key players. They've got that McNeil. And they've got that Dunn. Burnley brought a few players in last year. They brought that Josh Brownhill in. They brought Will Norris in. They brought Dale Stevens in from Brighton. And they also brought Anthony Mancini in. We're coming into this game on the back of a 1-0 win against Watford in the FA Cup 3rd round. Like I said, it was a poor performance from Man United for the vast majority of the game, but all that matters is we did get the win. But Solsjaer made 9 changes in that game. And 6 of the 11 that started were academy graduates. But the big game is on Sunday against Liverpool at Anfield. I'm really, really looking forward to that game. Now, earlier on today, I give you the latest on the transfer news. Obviously, Jadon Sancho has made an admission saying that it has been difficult this season at Borussia Dortmund, but he said he's happy that he's back among the goals. Jadon Sancho was our #1 priority target last summer. Borussia Dortmund, though, were demanding £108 million, and we was not willing to meet that valuation. But it did say a few times last summer that Sancho had agreed the personal terms. It also said that the agent fees had been agreed, and it even said a contract had been agreed, but we couldn't come to an agreement on an actual fee. We actually believe we can sign Jadon Sancho for less than £100 million this year. If he leaves Dortmund, it will be this summer. I'm very sceptical of leaving this January transfer window. But yeah, Fabrizio Romano's spoken about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga a few times, and he's reliable, and Bill's Christian Falk has also spoken about it a few times. But Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, Borussia Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre. Analysing the vast majority of Sancho's career at Dortmund, he's been consistent. This is his 4th season at Dortmund. I think he's under contract with Dortmund. Is it till 2022 or 2023? Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. Don't forget, last summer we was willing to offer Sancho that number 7 shirt. I think it recently said that Liverpool have reignited their interest and Chelsea have been interested. Earlier on today, I give you the news on Romain Fivera. He currently plays for Steadbrest. It was stemming from League 10 Sport, which is a French outlet, saying that Manchester United are set to battle PSG for Romain Fivera, if I pronounce his name correctly. Obviously, Stade Brest paid around £400,000 for him from Monaco in July last year. And on Christmas Eve, he extended his contract with Stade Brest until 2025. He's 22 years of age and he is a midfielder. So would you take him at Manchester United? You already know the news on Dayat Upamecano from RB Leipzig. Oliver Mitzlaff, who was the RB Leipzig CEO, said that RB Leipzig are willing to listen to offers for Upamecano. And he says that they will sell their top performers again if that makes financial sense. Upamecano is available for around £39 million at the end of the season because that's when his release clause does become active. And last year he signed a contract with RB Leipzig until 2023. And he is a centre-half, and I think we need someone to go alongside Harry Maguire in our back line. You obviously know the news on Max Aarons. You already know the news on Jack Grealish. I think we have got a chance of signing Jack Grealish, but only if we sell Paul Pogba. But like I say, this January transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 5th transfer window at the football club. And obviously Woodward has promised that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I think in all of the transfer windows Solskjaer's enjoyed so far, you can say he hasn't been backed enough. Especially last summer, he wasn't backed enough because we missed out on all of his priority targets. But like I mentioned earlier on, Woodward did say towards the end of last year that we will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. We're expecting outgoings in this January transfer window. Solskjaer recently held talks with 6 players he's looking to get rid of. And I think the players we're going to offload is Jesse Lingard. I think we're also going to offload Phil Jones. I think we're also going to offload Marcus Rojo and Sergio Romero. Solskjaer did confirm that Rojo and Romero are free to leave in this January window because their contracts won't be extended. Solskjaer's confirmed that Timothy Fosu-Mensah is allowed to leave the club in this January transfer window. I think Ighalo will leave. Ighalo's loan at the football club expires at the end of this month. There's obviously rumours of Daniel James going out on loan. And there's obviously been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan. And we're expecting more players to leave Man United in the summer. So there you go. Like I've said to you, I'm not sure if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the right manager for Manchester United. Obviously, there's some Man United fans that are Ole in, and there's some Man United fans that are Ole out. Like I said on my recent videos, earlier on in the season, I was definitely demanding Solskjaer out of the football club. I was very, very critical of him with how inconsistent we was earlier on in the season, but with how good we have been in recent months, I've started to slowly change my perception on him. I definitely think Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Manchester United, and I think he probably will be given another season at the club, and if he is, that will be his 3rd full season at Man United. This is his 2nd full season at the moment, and I did say this season was always going to be a big season for Ole. And I said to you what would represent a good season. That would be to finish in the top 4, the top 3, and win a trophy. You know, there's 3 trophies that we can pursue this season. You know, we can win the Premier League, we can win the FA Cup, and we can also win the Europa League. But that's going to be a tough game against Real Sociedad next month because they've been doing very, very well in the La Liga. But it's very imperative that we get our first trophy on the board under Solsjaer. You know, we haven't won a trophy now for just over 4 years. Like I said, we are certainly in the title race. You know, we are joint top of the Premier League table at the moment. But Solskjaer, don't forget, did say after our 1-0 win against Wolves that we're not in the title races yet. But he said if we are still challenging at the top come March, he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. And Solskjaer's still got the same perception now that we're not in the title race. And he said he's not going to get carried away even if we do beat Burnley tomorrow night. I'm very sceptical we'll win the league this season, but I certainly think we'll win another Premier League title. You know, if we do, it will be our first Premier League title since 2013 and our 21st title overall. Like I've said to you time and time again, the thing that concerns me about Ollie is his decision making, because in a lot of his games at Man United, he has made mistakes, and that's obviously cost us. But there's been some games where he's showed tactical flexibility, but he's got to do that persistently. You know, Solskjaer's obviously not a manager at the top level. You know, the question is, can he emulate into a top level manager? You know, he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. You know, we all want Solskjaer to succeed at Man United. You can say he has learned quite a bit. There's still things on the job that he does need to learn, but he has gained some managerial experience reflecting how long he's been at the club, because he has been Man United manager now for just over 2 years. You know, he's managed, over 100 games as Man United manager in all competitions, and he has got a contract with a football club until 2022. You know, Solskjaer's obviously not under any pressure at the moment. But obviously he's been under pressure quite a few times since he got appointed in, because he has endured very, very bad periods. And there's quite a few times you can say he was lucky not to be sacked. But like I've said to you, our board have got a soft stance on Solskjaer. Main explanation is because he is a club legend. But I think disregarding him being a club legend, the board would be a lot more ruthless on him. Don't forget, you know, Mauricio Pochettino was the favourite to take over. Obviously, Pochettino's now out of the equation because Pochettino is manager of PSG. But yeah, you know, we've obviously got to give Ollie credit as well. You know, he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final this season. You know, got us joint top of the Premier League table. He did well last season in his first full season at the club. He has made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He's spent over £200 million at the club. We've also seen a lot of players leave since he got recommended in. You know, we're unbeaten in our last 10 games in the league. Like I mentioned earlier, we've been very, very good away from home this season. So they are the positives you can take. And like I said, when Solskjaer taken over at Man United, he knew it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the culture of the club. And he knew when he came in that he had lots to do. And he's still got quite a few things to do now. And that's obviously make more signings, get rid of more... make more signings, get rid of more players and that. So, yeah. You know, like I said, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got appointed in as Man United manager, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. And he's got rid of some of the deadwood, but he's still inheriting some of that deadwood now. So there you go. Like I say, you know, these good players at Man United, you know, you've obviously got Marcus Rashford, that's a very, very good player. You've got Fernandes, that's an exceptional player. You've got Cavani, that's a good player, made an impact since he's come in. You know, we've got Donny van de Beek, that's also good. That's when he plays, you know, he seldom starts in the Premier League. Fred's obviously enjoyed good games this season, to be fair. Paul Popper's done well since he come back from that ankle injury, but he's out with injury again. Tomway can play well when he wants to. Luke Shaw's a good left back, but he's too injury prone. I think Tellez has done quite well since he's come in as well. Maguire, he's really improved. Bay's done well since he started playing again, but again, injured. And Wan-Bissaka's also a good right back as well, but we've got concerns about his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. David De Gea's getting back to his best. Mason Greenwood's good, but hasn't played a lot recently, has he? Anthony Martial has also improved recently. We've spent over £1 billion on players since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. And we've brought around 36, 37 players in since Ferguson left. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very soon.